question is, do natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy, for example, have anything to do with what's going on in human consciousness? Is there a correlation between natural disasters and human consciousness? One correlation is very simple, and that is that human activity, which has its origins in human consciousness, is causing climate change and global warming, which is changing weather patterns, which definitely could cause hurricanes and storms and weather that's more turbulent than before. As we have disappearance of marshlands that mitigate against the fury of storms, that could also worsen the fury of storms or the damage inflicted by storms. So changing weather patterns are definitely correlated with the change in human activity and our devastation of nature, and definitely there is a correlation between this kind of natural disaster and human activity. But let's talk about earthquakes. Earthquakes are due to a shift in tectonic plates, and there seems to be no direct correlation with what we do and an earthquake, or the fact that a meteor hit the earth many thousands of years ago, or millions of years ago, wiped out dinosaurs, and had that accident not happened, natural selection as an evolution would have gone in a different direction, and we wouldn't be here to have this conversation. So, that was a natural disaster as far as Earth was concerned, although, that implies, of course, that the Earth perceived it that way, but whatever, it was an accident of nature that ultimately resulted in this remarkable human nervous system that is allowing us to even contemplate these issues. Let's look a little deeper. If there is a single consciousness, which is the ground of existence, and we don't even have to call it consciousness, whatever it is, the ground of existence, a causal reality, being, and that is differentiating into every activity in the universe, then our consciousness is only part of that universal consciousness. And that universal consciousness is in every fabric of the cosmos. In that case, human consciousness, or the consciousness, the collective consciousness, or consciousness in general, being inseparable, then everything that consciousness produces, or existence produces, which is energy, information, space-time, and matter, is inseparable. So, conceivably then, a turbulence in a portion of that consciousness, if it reaches critical mass, could then affect the behavior of the totality. So, a lot of turbulence in human consciousness could be connected with turbulence in nature, which could be everything from a shift in tectonic plates to a shift in the gravitational forces in space-time in the cosmos that causes a course correction, if you will, of a meteorite or a piece of rock that causes devastation on a planet called Earth, that gets rid of dinosaurs and ultimately results in the evolution of human beings. I like to think of a universal being. I like to think of a universal consciousness where everything is inseparable, where a human consciousness is just an expression of that universal consciousness, which is like your consciousness and my consciousness, experimenting, sometimes failing, sometimes taking leaps of creativity and imagination, and sometimes just self-correcting itself. And then every accident is part of a more universal self-correction, and a more universal destruction, which leads to a creative leap of evolution or creativity itself, that our imagination or our thinking, our feelings, our thoughts, our images are part of a more universal domain of cosmic qualia that manifest as energy, information, space-time, and matter. So, my bias is yes, natural disasters and shifts in human consciousness in a turbulent direction are actually related to each other. Okay, I'd love your thoughts on this.